Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to share a couple things. These are 3 injuries that I want to share some introspection, some insight with. So, I've been a black belt for coming up on about 2 years now, and these 3 specific injuries that I've had to learn the most from pretty much all occurred within the last just under 2 years. So, well, about almost a year actually. So, the first one, I was at 10th Planet, West LA. Scott Epstein, he runs the place. And I was rolling with one of the, I think it's a white belt. You know how it goes. And if you're not familiar, 10th Planet, they teach heel hooks on day 1. So I went for a knee bar. And I wasn't even really like fully committed to it. It was just, being lazy. And I wasn't really like actually going to attack with 100%. So I just kind of like set it up, and I was like 10%, 15% into setting it up, and he spazzed out, freaked out, jumped out, and all you heard was my knee pop, pop, pop. So my left knee, I thought it was air. I was hopeful it was just air, but in reality, it was more than air. It was my LCL, my lateral cruciate ligament. So, and how I know that is because there's a doc who's also a black belt. He specializes in knees and stuff. Just so happened to be there as well. Very high level black belt, and he checked out my knee, did a bunch of like range of motion tests and stability tests, and sure enough, LCL and possibly my meniscus at the time. And that's that took some time to recover from, but it also helped me kind of rethink some things. Like, if I'm gonna go for it, to really understand when to be chill, lazy, efficient, whatever you want to call it, and when to fully commit to a move for my safety and for whoever else's safety I'm rolling with. So it's given me some patience, obviously. The next one was January this year. I was rolling with a buddy of mine. He's a black belt. He's been a black belt a little bit longer than I have. And I caught him in a knee bar, and I was like, dang. I wasn't like, yeah, but, we joke around a little bit, and I wasn't, it was whatever. Nobody even saw it. But I was like, wow, that was pretty cool. And I kind of laughed a little bit. We shook hands. And, unfortunately, he let his ego get involved a little bit more than he should have. And that's life. We're all human. And I hold nothing against him for it. But it happened. And what happened was he committed for an arm bar. It was triangle. And, it is what it is. The triangle wasn't there. My shoulder was already far open. And it was almost like I was in a position where he could have potentially gone for an omoplata. But rather than go for an omoplata, he kept the triangle and grabbed my arm and was able to maneuver his hips. And in his mind, I think he might have been thinking it was an arm bar setup, right? But in reality, he drove his hips into my shoulder, and it actually hyperextended my shoulder joint. And this shoulder I hurt when I was in the military too, so it is what it is. But my shoulder went pop, pop, pop. I was already tapping before I even popped. He didn't feel or hear it, but it's okay. It's okay. But that also has taught me some things. That, again, be cognizant of the fight. When to allow things to just happen and when to act and when to be explosive. And also, as black belts, we should know better, but it still happens. It still happens. And, made me more cognizant of being able to work range of motion stuff for my shoulder. Even though, I hurt in military, I can still, work angles to see if I can keep as much pain away as possible, right? And then also build up my back and my shoulders. So the third one was just actually a few months ago, or a month ago, some change. A buddy of mine he's a purple belt, and he tends to go a little bit harder when it's not necessary. I think you gotta have a spectrum of go, right? The green light, right? Where you're super chill, you're a little more hot and heavy, and both people need to be like going, right? You can't just have one person going crazy and one person not. And these are simple disciplines that we should all be seeking to maintain as jiu-jitsu practitioners and mixed martial artists, and as combatives guys or whatever. Like, you can't have one person going hard and another person not, right? To feel what that's like, whether it's my fault, his fault, that's not the point. But the point is, one person needs to come down or go up. And that should be like it's like an unsaid rule almost in jiu-jitsu. So if I'm rolling with someone and they're going hard, it's my job to slow them down. Now, the more we progress in our walk in jiu-jitsu, you shouldn't have to have somebody slow you down, and that's just the way it is. If I'm feeling it and I want to roll, but I'm wanting to just kind of flow roll, essentially, because that's what it is, we shouldn't be going crazy hard. And that's not a knock on him. It is what it is. But these are just simple lessons that I've learned through injuries. And I want to encourage you guys. I have people asking all the time, well, what do you do about this? And what do you do about that? What do you think about this? Supplementation, stretching. I like stealing from yoga. I like stealing from my physical therapist. I like stealing from my chiropractors. The idea of stretching and staying loose and building range of motion. So you don't have to compromise your form on anything, right? To balance out left and right. So you're not super asymmetric. But I think it's about having patience, And people ask me, well, is it too late to get involved in jiu-jitsu? Man, there are people that are in their 50s, 60s that jump into jiu-jitsu. You don't have to be a young buck, right? You don't got to be a 20-something or even a teen to jump in. I mean, you could be any age, any stage of the game of life and jump in. It's just a matter of who you train with, right? And to understand, even if you get hurt, it's okay. Because in life, you get hurt. And it's not about how bad you get hurt. It's about just keep growing and moving and adapting and overcoming and creating a balance and breathing and staying aligned with that spirit, that soul that God gave us. And I think that jiu-jitsu is a God-given thing. I absolutely love it. I'm grateful for it. And even every single injury, no matter how frustrated it can be in the moment, it is so beautiful to continue to learn and adapt and breathe. And, I thank God for jiu-jitsu. So I just figured I'd share that with y'all. That being said, if you try to take advantage of my injuries, I will break you. Love y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Appreciate the love. If you have questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, please leave it in the comments below. Message me. I appreciate it. If you have certain things you want me to, share with you, like different concepts that I've stolen from other people or, other black belts, I'd love to share all these things that I know, because we are all, one people trying to just live beautifully, right? And appreciate what God's given us. So love y'all. Take care.